Hey VC, Jack here. Welcome back to Vinyl Martini. After a long lapse of doing videos, I'm back. I've been on the road for almost 3 weeks. I was visiting my son in Kingston, Ontario, helping him do a little bit of work on the house that he put an extension on last year. And then I was on my way to the party, MGK's party, Mike's party in Buffalo. MGK Boston is the channel. Buffalo is the location. But first of all, talk a little bit about Kingston. We got a lot done. Did some tiling on the floors, so there is no more cement board on the floors. It's all tiled out. Excuse me. And we did some tiling behind the stove and along one wall, so everything looks beautiful. Keel's partner, Diana, is really happy with the outcome. And it was great working with Keel. Keel isn't a young lad. He's 41 years old, and he's a man for sure. He takes charge of the projects. I am just there to help him out. I'm basically a gopher, but it makes the job go along a hell of a lot smoother. Yes, we got a lot of jobs done, and we had some time for some recreation as well. My son is in a band called Emily Steele and the Deal. He plays bass for them. And they were playing at Ottawa Bluesfest on the Friday night. So I rented a car, and we all drove up there together and saw Keel's set. And Keel's been playing music for a long time. This is the first time I've seen him in a professional band. And they were just outstanding. Emily Steele, I guess the band, you can say the band is kind of alt country with a little bit of rock and roll thrown in. Great songwriting. Emily does all the songwriting. The band was great. It's a 4-piece lineup, traditional lineup. And I was so proud to see Keel playing up there. We had tickets for the rest of the venue. We saw a couple of bands on the outside. Emily Steele and the Deal were playing in the Canadian War Museum, which is on the grounds, and it was a nice break from the weather. It was very hot and sticky there, and nice to see them in an air-conditioned room. The room was full. I had great seats, took some video. I posted a video. If you haven't watched it yet, I don't think it got that many views, but maybe take some time and check it out. A couple of it, I think one video ago. And yeah, that was fantastic. And then on the, so I was there for about 10 days and then took the train down to Toronto to meet up with my good friend Brian, Embryonic Robot, and our guest from the UK, David Atkinson. He gets angry when you say he's from Birmingham. He's from Newcastle on Tyne. He happens to live outside of Birmingham. Oh God, can't talk, David. But pleasure meeting those guys. David is just as funny and witty and charming as you can imagine if you've seen any of his videos. And Brian is, Brian is Brian. He's a great guy. Brian and Jack's Excellent Adventure Part 2, because I was driving around Boston with Brian last year, and this year was the same. We were driving around the city back and forth from our hotel. Thank you so much for that, Brian. Much appreciated. Great company, and really enjoyed spending time with you. So we went down on Wednesday night and met Mike and Patty. First of all, I gotta say, Mike and Patty, you guys outdid yourself. Last year was a great party. This year was just fantastic. I appreciate the effort that it took. It takes a long time to organize these things. And they did a great job. Of course, Patty did her baking magic. Patty's better known as Patty Cheesecake. Fantastic baker, cookies, the works. She provided some refreshments on the Saturday for the party. But Wednesday to Saturday, Mike was the tour guide, took us up to, showed us the house that he's moving into. It's really difficult. Let me just explain. Mike and Patty have bought a new house, and they thought they would be in it by now, and they're not. So they didn't find a house, and they didn't find a house until last month. But the closing date is not till the end of August. So Mike and Patty live behind this place called the Goodyear Mansion. And it's not so it's a mansion that was owned by the Goodyear family, not the Goodyear tire family. It was the Goodyear lumber family, and they made a killing milling lumber in the late 1800s and the early 1900s. They live on Delaware Avenue, which is where all the rich people lived in Buffalo. And many of those mansions are converted into offices. In Mike and Patty's case, it was turned into a school. An addition was put in the back of the house. And those classrooms have been converted into apartments. And Mike and Patty live in a small apartment, and they have done so for the last 10 months. It was supposed to be 3 months. But they have lived there in very tight quarters for the last 10 months. So I'm really happy that they're going to finally be moving into this beautiful house in the Elmwood Village. Mike took us past there the other day. He's so excited because he's got the entire 3rd floor attic. It's going to be a lot bigger than his last record room, and certainly the room that he's doing his videos in now. So very happy for them when they finally do move. Mike, I'm happy that I'm not going to be in Buffalo helping you move your records from the street level up to the 3rd floor, because that is going to be an impressive feat. So make sure that the movers do that. Buffalo, I'm from Toronto originally, and Buffalo always had this reputation, excuse me, in the 60s and 70s, and we used to call it Fire City. And we used to watch television stations from Buffalo. There's only 2 television stations in Toronto, and there's 3 network television stations in Buffalo. So we used to watch stations from Buffalo all the time and watch the news, and we used to call it Fire City because there always seemed to be a fire breaking out in Buffalo or North Tonawanda or Lackawanna. But it is beautiful. Downtown Buffalo, I think, is turning a corner. It's got fantastic architecture. Like I said, Delaware Avenue's got these beautiful mansions, and Mike and Patty are moving to this area that's really cool. Elmwood Avenue has got record stores, obviously. It's got cafes, boutiques, and no big box stores. So it's all mom and pop operations. Fantastic tree-lined streets. The house looks beautiful. So can't wait for the party next year, because Mike's going to be hosting the party in his backyard. Okay, so I think that's about all I'm going to say. There's lots of video footage available on Mike's channel, MGK Boston. Embryonic Robot has posted a lot of video of the party, and David Atkinson has as well as other members of the vinyl community that happened to be at the party. Now, we had about 15 VC channel creators there. I am not going to try to list them all, because I'm going to miss somebody and then I'll feel terrible. But watch the footage and see who you can recognize. A lot of surprises, a lot of people that weren't at the party last year and were at the party this year, and some people from last year couldn't make it, but there was a lot of returning people from last year. It was great to see them again. Old friends, one and all. Off the top, we had the Colton Awards, and I won a Colton Award. Honored. Look at this. This is going to go up in a place of honor here in the record room. And I won for best hair. I was up against some stiff competition. Don, the old goat, and Rob Walker. And I'm not saying that I did anything to influence the vote, but I did bring Patty some chocolate, so don't tell anybody about that. I don't think that had anything to do with my win, but I appreciate that. Colton Award. Colton was there. Saw Colton again. Colton, my buddy the cat. Okay, so I bought a pile of records, and I should get to it. I apologize for the length of this video, but I'm almost 10 minutes in, and I'm just talking, so I'll show some records now, because I got a stack of records that I won't go into detail about. But I'm going to show my VCLT first. And I was gifted this from Emily Steele. Emily was nice enough to give me a copy of their 2nd record. I think the first one is an EP. This is a full-length record. Keel Varican is credited on bass here. Nice cover work. I met the artist who did the cover work. So this is Emily Steele in the deal, and cut the deck. So fantastic to have. This will be one of my prized possessions. And I got some VCLT from Mike, MGK Boston. I'm not going to take that off, but Mary Hopkin, her second album on Apple Records. I know it's on Apple Records. It does not have Those Were the Days on it, but this isn't up Mike's alley, so he wanted to gift it to somebody that might appreciate it. So thank you very much, Mike. He knows my love of, Mike and I share a love of country music, so he got me a nice copy of Buck Owens and his Buckaroos, an album called I Wouldn't Live in New York City, recorded in I'm going to say about 1965 or so. It's on Capitol Records. I love Buck Owens, the king of Bakersfield, and yeah, he's recorded the title song on the streets of New York one night, late one night on 46th Avenue, West 46th Street, and the title is I Wouldn't Live in New York City If They Gave Me the Whole Dang Town. And all the other titles are about cities. It's kind of a running joke with Brian and Mike. It's well known that Brian is a big country fan, and Mike gifted this album to Brian, who then gifted it to me, and this is early recordings of Johnny Paycheck. Johnny Paycheck, of course, big hit was Take This Job and Shove It, but these are very early recordings while he was a bass player for George Jones. Those must have been a couple of guys together on tour, George Jones and Johnny Paycheck. But these are demos that he cut in the studio in the early 60s before he was known as a singer. And just the night before, I was talking to another couple of people at the party about how hard it is to get early Johnny Paycheck recordings. So nice to get that from Mike through Brian, and I'm sure that Brian is appreciative of the fact that he's not going to take this home and listen to it because he doesn't like country music very much. Mark, Mad for Vinyl, was there, and he was kind enough to give me a record. This is on Lost Highway Records. It is a comp, and it's got some artists like Ryan Adams. I don't have any Ryan Adams. Lucinda Williams, of course, Willie Nelson, we're all familiar with that. Hank Williams and Lyle Lovett, but there are a number of other artists on here that I am not familiar with. The Soggy Bottom Boys, Black Joe Lewis, and the Honey Bears. So a lot of country songs on there, and looking forward to giving this a spin. Thank you so much, Mark, for that. It was a pleasure meeting you. And Mark brought a special surprise guest with him from Rochester. Mark lives about an hour up the road from Buffalo, and he brought JT along. JT flew in just for the occasion to surprise everybody. I'd been talking to JT how much I'd like to see him at the party. He said, well, I can't do it this year or maybe next year. And there he was. He just walked in the room, sort of sitting there all by his lonesome. And I noticed him and welcomed him in. It was a pleasure to meet JT. What a great guy. Great stories. And yeah, just a great guy. So we went to Revolver Records. You know, Mike has been going on about Revolver Records, about how inexpensive it is and how great the records are, and he was not wrong. I bought a pile of records. And I should say that most of the records I bought are what I call Americana. They're all albums by American artists. I was in the U.S. after all. So, yeah, took a chance. These records are all very well priced. They're like $3 to $5, most of them. And a lot of artists that I grabbed that were just blind buys. So I haven't watched any of these records, haven't listened to any of these records, but I'll show you what I got. A band called Atlanta. They're on MCA Records with the sleeve. This was $3, and quite a large band. I thought I'd give them a whirl. A fellow called Bob White. Bob White is a steel guitar player. This is on Longhorn Records, and he used to play steel guitar for Bob Will's band, Texas Swing Band, and as well Hank Thompson's band and his Brazos Valley Boys. Recorded in 1975, solo record. Never heard of this guy before, but I love steel guitar, so I'm looking forward to giving that a whirl. This record is by Wayne Talbert. I don't know anything about Wayne Talbert, but the cover was really intriguing. It's Wayne Talbert and the Melting Pot singer, songwriter, produced by Mac Rebennack. It's on Pulsar Records, which I've never heard of before. There's the label, Pulsar Records, like the cover. Most of the songs are written by Talbert. Schizophrenic Susan Minnick, Love Ain't What It Used to Be. And he does a Mac Rebennack song, The United State of Mind. This was recorded in, I think, 1972 or 1973. Line by. Intriguing cover. Leon Ashley and self-titled record, and he had a hit in 1967 that he produced, wrote, created a record label, and did all those three things when most artists weren't doing. This is a country song. It went to #1 on the country charts, and the song is Laura, What's He Got That I Ain't Got. After that song went to #1, RCA signed him, put out a record, and I think this was his only album. He released some singles after that, but the Laura song did go to #1. Got songs like Tell Him Daddy Said Hello, With the Help of the Wine, Branded Man, Today's the Day After, typical country titles, but they sound intriguing. And it's a mint copy, and it was very inexpensive. Another artist I've never heard of is Johnny Lee. I think this is a 1981 release on Asylum Records. Asylum tried a little foray into Nashville, and Johnny Lee recorded this record for them, and it's called Bet Your Heart on Me. Again, it was only a couple bucks. Thought I'd give it a whirl. Everybody knows Waylon and Willie. I don't know if I've ever seen this record before. I don't think anybody else at the party had seen it before, but it is called World War II. Waylon and Willie. It is a 1982 release. Beautiful embossed cover, mint condition, and that was $3. And yeah, I think Willie's band is backing these guys, and you can't go wrong with a little bit of Waylon and Willie. World War II. Beautiful, beautiful condition. Another blind buy, a guy called Joe Sun. The album is called Out of Your Mind. I like the cover. It's on Ovation Records label. I don't think I have anything on Ovation. Joe Sun with his band called Shotgun. There's the Ovation label. Recorded 1979. Band looked cool. Song titles were intriguing, so I grabbed it. This is a soul jazz record by an artist I don't know anything about, but I do love jazz, and I especially love it when a little bit of soul is thrown in there. This is a guy called Jimmy Ponder. The album is called All Things Beautiful. It is provided free for in-store play by Best Records and Action Music on Harlem Road from West Seneca, New York. Joe Ponder is a guitar player, and really intriguing, very nice cover, glossy cover, great shape. So looking forward to giving this spin. This might be the blind buy of the trip. And a soul record. The band is Odyssey. I think this is their second release. The album is called Hang Together, female vocal group, and it is on RCA from 1980. So sort of just at the tail end of disco music, I guess. Again, a blind buy, but read a little bit about it, and it sounds like it's going to be a good one. Mike Harrison. This is Mike Harrison from Spooky Tooth. After he left Spooky Tooth, he recorded 3 records. This is on Island Records, and I'm trying to find a date on here. Can't find a date. Can't find a date. Maybe it's on the record itself. It's on the Pink Island label, and Do they have a date on the record? They do not have a date on the record, but I am imagining it is 1976 or 1977. Mike Harrison played keyboards, I think, in Spooky Tooth, and he recorded 3 solo records, and he got out of the music business after this record or the next one because he found that the profits from these solo records were being used to pay off Spooky Tooth's debts on Island Record that they owed the label. So as soon as he found that out, he quit recording, and I don't think he got back together with anybody until the 1990s, or maybe more recently than that, when Spooky Tooth got together and recorded their latest offering, maybe a few years ago. But Mike Harrison loves Spooky Tooth. Nice cover. I'll show you the inside. It's a gatefold in terrific shape. Again, I've never seen this record before, so I was really happy to pick that up. And I have hit this fellow's first record that I got about 2 years ago, and this is Willie Nile. This is a 1981 release. It's his second record, called Golden Down. His first record is fabulous. He was part of the CBGB crowd, New York scene, and he recorded a couple of records, maybe one more after this. His first record is so good, so I hope this one matches that. And then he I don't think his recording contract was renewed, and he went on recording hiatus for quite a number of years. I don't think he would put anything out until the 1990s, but he is still recording, he's still touring, he is putting out records. So Willie Nile, looking forward to that. Took a punt on this, and this is an African artist, Youssou N'Dour, and I found out later that he has recorded with Genesis frontman, why am I blanking on his name? Peter Gabriel, of course. The album is called Nelson Mandela, and it was very well priced. It's in very, very good condition. It's on Polydor Records, and he does a cover of the Rubber Band Man. I think the Spinners put that out in about 1977 or so, 1978. And all the other titles are African titles, and the last song on side 2 is called Nelson Mandela. So looking forward to giving this a spin. Looking for a shimmering guitar sound. So that was on Thursday. We went to Revolver Records, and on Friday we made another foray to one of Mike's favorite stores, which was actually at a great store, very fairly priced. Both these record stores are not curated museums of vinyl. They actually want people to go out with an armload of records because they're all priced well, and they're all in great condition. So first off, I've showed you a bunch of country stuff. I might as well show you a rock album that I bought. I got Mountain's first record, and this was recorded in 1970. Leslie West, Felix Pappalardi, Corky Lang, and Steve Knight. This is the album with Mississippi Queen, that classic hard rock song. It's on Windfall Records. It's in mint condition. Very happy to pick that up for a couple of bucks. And it is Flowers of Evil, Mountain. I bought this on Mike's recommendation. He was playing a track off of this album on one of his Friday Cheers episodes, and this is Mo Bandy. And I've become aware of a few country artists that I didn't know anything about that I heard on his Friday Night Cheers. Bobby Bear for one, Tom Glazer for another, and this is another guy called Mo Bandy. This was recorded in 1977. There's a picture of Mo with a glass of beer in front of him. Country artist on Columbia. And the song that I heard on Mike's show was really good. It's in the shrink. It's in really good condition. So Mo Bandy. Another artist, if I like this one, I will be looking for some more Mo Bandy. Country music, country albums are hard to come by here in Victoria. I don't know what people are too snotty for them or what, but whenever I see a great selection of country music, like I did at Revolver and Black Dots Records, and that's where these later records come from, I will take a chance, especially if they're well priced and in good condition. I have Blackfoot's, I think their first album. I think this is their second or third. This is Blackfoot. They're a tier 2 Southern rock outfit. Some of them are from the South. A couple of them are from New Jersey and Ohio, I think. But this is their record called Marauder. Of course, it is a promo copy with the timesheet on there. So really happy to get that. I love Southern rock as well as my love of country, and I love lots of genres, but yeah, I grabbed this any day of the week. I think it was like $3.99, so very, very well priced, and waiting to give that a spin. I am a Tim Buckley fan as well, singer-songwriter, and Tim Buckley is a master of many genres, but this is his, I don't know the date on here, but this is Tim Buckley called Happy Sad. It's early in his career. It's on Elektra. Lee Underwood's on here, Johnny Miller, David Friedman. And Elektra is one of those bands, or one of those labels that had a highly unusual roster of people in the early days. Of course, after they signed the Doors, they were constantly looking for the next big Doors band. I never really found one, but Jeff Buckley, I've got about 4 or 5 of his records. Love him. He's a great singer-songwriter, and really happy to find this one that I never see in the bins anywhere. So this is called Happy Sad, Tim Buckley on Elektra Records, and it does have the kind of beat up. Well, this is an Atlantic. This is not an original. That's an Atlantic liner, a record bag. So I'll change that out. I'll swap that out. Cactus Restrictions, and Cactus was a band on Athco Records. It's an original. Excuse me. Let me take a drink here. Yeah, hard rock band coming out of the remains of a few bands, and Cactus is Carmen Apiece, Tim Bogart, Rusty Day, and Jim McCarty. I think Jim McCarty from the Yardbirds fame, maybe? I think. This was recorded at Electric Lady Studios, and 1971 release, and this is going to be, yeah, hard rock, blues rock, Cactus. I love that cover, and somebody did a little signing there. It's called Master. So Master has put their autograph on there. But otherwise than that, it's in great shape. Coming up to the end, folks. Another artist that I always look out for is early recordings, and that is Tom Rush. Tom Rush is from New Hampshire, I believe. It's called Take a Little Walk with Me. Again, it is on Elektra Records, and Al Cooper wrote the little blurb on the back praising Tom Rush. A lot of covers on here. It's going to be interesting because you can't tell a book by the cover. Who Do You Love? Love's Made a Fool of You. Too Much Monkey Business. Money Honey. An original by Tom, On the Road Again. And several others by Von Schmidt, etc., etc. But again, Elektra is one of those records that was the home of a lot of folk artists and early blues artists. And there's an original Elektra bag that I was hoping to show you. This is obviously a repress because that's not the original pressing liner for sure. But Tom Rush, Take a Little Walk with Me. And this must be from about 1965 or 1966. 2 more to go. Another Southern rock band on Capricorn Records. This is a promo copy. It is not a white label promo. Let me just slip it in there. It's on Capricorn Records. I'll show you the label. If you've never seen a Capricorn label, sure, why not? There it is, the old famous Capricorn label. Excuse me, I dropped my record. Grinder Switch is another southern rock band. I think that Dickie Betts actually plays on this record, and they are label mates with the Allman Brothers. Got a promo sticker on there, so that's kind of nice. And this is a record from 1974, so right in the heart of when the Allmans were going strong. Grinder Switch is the band, and the album is called Honest to Goodness. So really looking forward to giving that a good spin. And I'm sure my wife will love that one because I can hear her moving around upstairs. And last but not least, this is a record I didn't get in Buffalo. I got this in Kingston when I was poking around looking for some VCLT for my friends. But I am a David Sylvian fan. David Sylvian, of course, of Japan fame, the band Japan. This is Words with the Shaman, and he is recording here with John Hassel, Steve Jansen, Holger Suke. This is an EP. I don't think I've ever seen this out in the wild before. It's the cover is a little bit, got a little bit of ring wear, as you can see, but very happy to find it. Record's in great shape. Like I said, it's an EP. 2 long songs on one side and 1 very short song on the second side. So slowly beefing up my David Sylvian collection. Whoa, now I'm over half an hour. I told you it was going to be a long one. I had a lot to say and a lot to explain, I think. So thank you for listening to me and taking the time. If you're still with me here, you do me great honor. But very good to be back here in Victoria. I'm going to do a little bit of golfing tomorrow. I'm going to do a little bit of fishing on Monday. The weather here is glorious. So nice to be back home. But I had such a great time, great trip, seeing my son, and of course, seeing all my friends from the violent community. So till the next time, I will do another video next week. I won't take as much time between videos as I did between this one and the last one. Take care of yourselves. Have a great weekend, and talk to you soon. Cheers.